This is Dan Wilkes with PittStateGorillas.com. Coming up on this week's edition of the Coach Russ Jewett podcast, we preview the 2012 NCAA Division II National Championships. The Pitt State women raced their way into the national field for the 10th time in school history 2 weeks ago. We'll look back to a strong showing by the Gorillas in the Central Regional and preview Pitt State's prospects in the national field right after this short break.
The Holiday Inn Express of Pittsburgh has flexible meeting spaces, complimentary internet access, a free hot breakfast bar in the morning, and an indoor pool that the whole family will enjoy. Come book a room at the newest hotel in Pittsburgh, the Holiday Inn Express.
Joined by cross-country coach Russ Jewett, whose Pitt State women's squad will return to familiar territory Saturday when the Gorillas compete just 25 miles from home at Joplin, Missouri in the 2012 NCAA Division II National Championships on the Missouri Southern State University campus. 2 weeks ago, the Gorillas earned their third straight berth to the national championships with a fifth-place showing at the 2012 NCAA Central Regional, also hosted by Missouri Southern. Coach, take us back to that race on November 3rd. What were the keys that made the Gorillas successful in the regional meet?
Well, I think one of the keys was just our natural depth that we have. Not everybody had their perfect race of the season, but we had enough depth and team unity that we had a couple of runners step up and kind of take up a little bit of slack. But in general, our women believed in the race plan we had and executed it to the best of their ability and raced with a lot of mental and physical toughness just past the halfway point and through the finish. We made up quite a few points, I think, like the last mile of the race, and I think that was the difference.
Pitt State will make its 10th all-time appearance in the NCAA National Championships, including a third consecutive trip to nationals. It's always special for a squad to earn the right to compete in the championships, but talk about this group of young women, particularly some fine juniors and seniors who have helped guide Pitt State to nationals in 3 straight years now.
Well, you know, we don't have any like Division I blue-chip prospects out of high school on this team necessarily. We've got some just hard-working young ladies, and the ones that have been around for 3 or 4, or even in Kaylee Tamott's case, her 5th year. I'm always especially proud of those young women because this is not an easy sport. It's not an easy endeavor to start and then to finish in terms of a whole career. So really proud of those women and for doing what it takes to help their team to represent Pittsburgh State at the national level for 3 of those years anyway, yeah.
The Central Region produced the 2011 NCAA Division II National Champion in Augustana College. The Vikings captured the 2012 regional meet with a low score of 28 points. How did the strong regional field, with additional national qualifiers in Winona State, the University of Mary, and the host school Missouri Southern, prepare your squad for this trip to the national championship?
Well, first, I think when you expose yourself to greatness, I think if you have the right attitude anyway, that can help you. And I think our ladies weren't intimidated. We weren't in their league, obviously, but we did get a step on the line and run the same course at the same time and compete with them and against them. And I think that helped toughen us up a little and helped make us realize we do belong now that we've qualified to this championship. And then, of course, coming back to the side of the regional and the side of a course where we race it virtually every year, I think there's a little comfort level there that we can enjoy. It's not a huge advantage, but I'd much rather have been here and raced on this course this year with this same team than not.
We'll continue our podcast with Coach Jewett after this.
Comfort Inn of Pittsburgh offers a cozy, welcoming room with free internet access. Enjoy the indoor pool area year-round and wake up to a complimentary breakfast every morning. When staying at the Comfort Inn, you can feel at ease knowing that your satisfaction is the most important thing to us.
Welcome back to PittStateGorillas.com. The Pitt State women have extended their cross-country season to the final day of the 2012 season. Saturday, the Gorillas will compete in the 6-kilometer race on the Missouri Southern cross-country course at 11:30 a.m. Coach, talk about your squad's preparedness for the national championships.
Well, this group of young ladies is about as fit as they've ever been for this kind of race. And that gives us confidence. We understand we're coming into a situation where there are a lot of runners out there that are better than us, but there are quite a few we can beat too. So we're very prepared physically, and I think we're very prepared mentally. And as long as we stick to the race plan and believe in ourselves, I think we'll be successful.
The 2012 season marks the first time the national championships have expanded to 32 teams, an increase of 8 squads from 24-team fields the Gorillas have competed in 2010 and 2011. Talk about that dynamic in Saturday's race, a large field of more than 300 athletes with a ton of talent across the line.
Yeah, the bigger fields are in response to just trying to get our ratios in our sport in line with the other Division II sports in terms of kids qualifying to nationals. And we're grateful for that, because without that expansion, we probably wouldn't be here today. We understand that. It does represent or present some challenges that even in past nationals you didn't have. You're going to have 250 or so runners in the race, whereas in the past it's probably 175. And the more dense the race is, the more any little mistake is magnified, and certainly the more competition there is. So there's that. It's a trade-off. We're fortunate to get in, and proud that we have gotten in, but even more challenging now with more runners.
Tactically, what are you looking for from the Pitt State women to be successful Saturday? And have you and the team set goals for the meet?
Well, tactically, it'll be much like we needed to do and did pretty well at the regional. We'll need to get out and get pretty good position early on. You won't have a situation where you can make up a lot of ground after the first sharp turn, which is about 800 meters in. So get out and get your position fairly early, and then that just means you're going to be hurting a little more a little earlier, and you're going to have to really be mentally tough in the middle and really draw on your teammates' energy a little bit. Yeah.
We've touched on this earlier in the season, but this Gorilla team, like many before it, has embraced the tradition of wearing the Gorilla uniform. They have raced with pride and with passion throughout the year. What are your final thoughts on this squad in the national championships?
Well, it's hard to set goals, really, for a national championship when you don't see many of these folks throughout the year. We've only seen a few teams that'll be on this course tomorrow, but when I look at it closely, I think there are a few teams we certainly can beat of the 32. Realistically, most of them we can't beat. But if we can be in the top 25, I think that would be a high and realistic goal, and that's what the ladies and I have talked about. And it's always meaningful to qualify to the championship. It's hard when you're a marginal qualifier. It's hard to not have that attitude, well, we're just happy to be here. I think up until a few days ago, maybe that was the case, but our ladies are competitors, and we're going to go out there. I'm sure the ladies will go out there tomorrow and not just be happy that they're there. They really are happiest when they race hard and compete well, and I think that's the kind of happiness they're looking for tomorrow.
The countdown to the 2012 NCAA National Championships is winding down as the race draws near. Thanks to head coach Russ Jewett for his insights into the National Championships and for taking time this season for this weekly podcast. Stay tuned to PittStateGorillas.com for coverage of the 2012 NCAA National Championships.